Question, what happened to all the nice gays?
They all died here in Ohio at the Big Bottom Massacre of 1791.
Today we are checking out the channel Sloan. Now, I've reacted to one of his videos in the past. It was really good. This one threw me off guard though. When I saw the thumbnail, I saw the thumbnail and I was like, oh, okay, they're getting divorced. I was about to scan past it until I saw the title. George Clooney and Harry Styles, bizarre relationship from dates to fights over Harry. Rumored. Now it says rumored. Even though it says rumored, I'm very intrigued because apparently, from what I'm seeing in the synopsis here, the man's man George Clooney and One Direction's Harry Styles have a relationship? Question mark? Is that the reason why he's getting divorced? Really? George Clooney? Really? I would never in a million years. Never in a million. It's like saying here like Brad Pitt. He's from that same era. Brad Pitt, George Clooney, you've always heard them being friends and like to play pranks on each other on movie sets. This is from years ago. I've heard this. Now, that'd be the same kind of cadence as that. Like, if I heard Brad Pitt had a relationship with Harry Styles, it was just kind of like out left field, like, what the hell? When did this come about? Jennifer Aniston, Angelina Jolie, Harry Styles, that type of thing. So, hearing George Clooney in the mix, like, I'm really kind of still in the shock of people talking about Ryan Reynolds and Hugh Jackman having a relationship. And Blake Lively is a beard. So I'm still reeling from that, actually. So I'm allegedly. Let's get right into it. Of course, check out Sloan's channel, subscribe, become a channel member, Patreon member. And let's get right into it. And let's see how messy this gets.
Harry Styles and George Clooney are allegedly sleeping together and have been on again, off again for years now.
Is it true that Harry Styles and George Clooney are hooking up? Rumors of Harry Styles and George Clooney dating back to 2020. I'm sorry, what?
George Clooney allegedly hadn't seen his wife Amal in 2 months.
Amal Clooney actually makes hand over their cell phones at her door.
I mean, we're all a little bit dead, aren't we?
For over 5 years, there have been rumors that George Clooney has had a romantic relationship with Harry Styles. After Harry left the boy band, he needed help getting ahead in Hollywood. George supposedly gave him acting advice and a little bit more. This little bit more has been a source of tension within his marriage to Amal Clooney. And all of these rumors are just getting messier. So let's get into it.
Let's get into it. Let's just say that. Yeah.
Lately, there have been rumors that George Clooney and his wife Amal Clooney are headed towards divorce. We recently spoke about their slow breakup in another video, but you guys wanted to hear more of Styles because I mentioned in that video that there have been rumors that Harry and George have had a little bit of a fling, and a lot of people were taken back. My comment section blew up, so I decided to go and take a look at this rumor even more. I first off want to say I'm not trying to out anyone. I'm not trying to go and expose this relationship. I am clearly stating this is a rumor, but it's been a rumor for quite some time. We do blind item breakdown on this channel every Thursday, and it seems like there's a lot of blind items suggesting there's something more happening here. It's giving like, Hugh Jackman energy. This blind item reads, what used to be just in the domain of blind items and whispered around Hollywood is now being shouted online. The permanent A-list actor and the former A-list singer solo and in a group are hooking up. Will they ignore it like they have for years, or will they finally say something? Now, this is a blind item from 2020, so it's been about 5 years. This next blind item came from...
Okay, is blind item, let me know if you guys know what blind item is. Is that like a blog? Is that what that is? Like Shade Room or something like that? Let me know in the comments. I don't know what this blind item is. This is something new.
From that same year, 2020, it reads, apparently the A-list, mostly movie actor and his longtime business partner must have made a deal because the business partner is always attached at the hip to the foreign-born former boy bander. Prior to the agreement, this pairing created a year-long feud. Another blind item from that same year reads, this foreign-born former boy bander and sometimes actor is having trouble getting the projects he wanted because the A-list, mostly movie actor holds a big grudge. So it sounds like kind of like a breakup at this point. The foreign-born former boy bander.
What is, my God, the foreign-born? It's like a riddle me, Batman, over here.
Harry Styles was a reason the A-list, mostly movie actor George Clooney and his partner had a falling out. I guess that is back in play yet again. And I keep hearing about this partner, this business partner. Yeah, maybe it's this Randy Gerber guy. Let's put a picture of him up on the screen to get an idea of who we're talking about. This tweet actually includes a picture of Harry and Randy together. It reads, "Is Harry Styles still busy being passed around between Randy Gerber and George Clooney?"
That's a horrible picture of Harry Styles. That's supposed to be Harry Styles. That is a horrible picture of him. I thought it was a lesbian at first. Oh my God, that's Harry Styles. That's the worst picture of Harry Styles I ever seen. Right in mid eating, and oh my God. Ooh. If I was Harry Styles, I would just sue just for the picture that you took. So you scum paparazzi. Good Lord, that's a horrible. Oh my God. Ooh.
Or did Shawn Mendes take his place? This comment reads that Harry Styles could make some big bucks on the yachting circuit, but instead he chooses an old man like Clooney? Where the F is his self-respect? Another person adds, remember how powerful George Clooney was in Hollywood 10 years ago? He would be praised at the Oscars every single year. George Clooney is very powerful, but if you're not familiar with yachting is like escorting when like people go to visit billionaires and millionaires that have yachts, and they go and do you know what for an exchange of typically cash. This comment reads,
I just recently heard about that whole yachting thing. Like Zac Efron, a couple of the Kardashians have been known to go yachting, like for example. So yeah, I've been just hearing about this. Like, what was it like when I first heard it? Was at Cannes Film Festival that they always have all those yachts out there? That's when I first heard about it, especially with the Zac Efron gossip.
But I ain't one to gossip, so you ain't heard it from me.
Harry was thinking that George Clooney could help him with his acting career. Meg writes, agreed. Yachting is more about money. Harry can make plenty of that. It's his acting aspirations that need all the help that he can get. Every ex-boy bander wants to be an actor, and George Clooney is the #1 actor with connections. Gilly adds that, yeah, Harry Styles has a ton of money from his music. He doesn't need cash. So Harry doesn't need to go to the Cannes Film Festival and go work on the yachts. He has the money. What he wants is the fame, the acting roles. Another person asks, is he mad that Harry chose Randy, or that he dumped them both and George and Randy need a new twink?
Is it true that Harry Styles and George Clooney are hooking up? Rumors of Harry Styles.
What was this? Giving Harry Styles / Obama 2.0? What does Obama got to do about this? Girl, what is this? Harry Styles and Obama 2.0? What is this? Obama's hooking up with Harry Styles too? Is he just like the pass around party bottom or something? Harry Styles is. What's going on here?
George Clooney dating back to 2020. I'm sorry, what? This has been a rumor for almost 5 years?
I didn't hear about
Harry Styles and George Clooney? Is this true? Yes or no? And if so, I need details. That's such a wild pairing. Like, of all the celebrities, I don't think anyone once has ever thought Harry Styles and George Clooney. Not once. Like, they're so far removed from each other socially, at least from how it's perceived by the public. I don't even picture them in the same room together, let alone in the same bed, huh? Oh.
Now,
but girl, you think that's crazy, but what's your title in that video? Harry Styles and Obama 2.0. Like, that's crazy too, girl. Like, I don't know. Which one's is crazier to me? The title of your video is that. That's crazy. You want to talk about a crazy pairing? You don't think that's a crazy pairing? The title of your video? I don't know. It's just, this is just wild to me.
A popular gossip website, Des Moines, shout out to Des Moines, did put out a tip. It reads, I've heard so many things about this absurd situation the past few years, so I feel like it's time to share. A-list singer has beef with A-list older actor for years now. This situation has apparently even prevented the younger foreign-born singer from booking some roles when he started getting into acting. Apparently, the grudge is old, and it all started because of woman. I think it's really funny because these people seem totally unrelated from the outside world and both have a reputation for being really nice to people. Now, when these blind items were going crazy in 2020, we also got an article, Harry Styles cycling with George Clooney's close friend. Now, I don't know why Harry is hanging out with all these old guys in Hollywood. This person writes,
They're not that old. I mean, he's younger, yes, but they're not like 70, 80 years old. Not like Anna Nicole Smith when she married that millionaire, billionaire, wherever he was, and he was like 215 years old. These guys are probably in their 50s. They're older, but they're not old like
Diabetes.
Thank you, Wilford. Diabetes.
AARP. Yeah, you know what I'm saying?
such an odd pairing. I was trying to establish a connection. It looks like they all first met when Harry visited their home back in 2013. Another person writes, okay, I don't usually indulge in conspiracy theories, but that's odd. It's even more odd considering the recent allegations against Cindy Crawford, her husband, and George Clooney. And then we've got Harry's behavior. Another person...
Well, back to this horrible picture again. Cindy Crawford's married to this guy? The biggest supermodel back in the 80s? Cindy, what did you hook up with? Are you a beard girl?
writes, this is definitely a weird relationship. They're not even in the same industry. Randy has nothing to do with music. But I did find an article with Randy's name in the headline. It reads, Harry Styles, a sugar baby for George Clooney and his pal, Randy Gerber. This person writes, it is weird how 50-plus-year-old dudes are hanging out with someone in their 20s. Yeah, he's hitting it for sure. Wait. So now I realize how Randy fits into all of this, because he's not just George Clooney's friend, he's the husband to Cindy Crawford. So that's how Cindy Crawford is getting involved here, because her husband is like passing around Harry Styles with George Clooney. Allegedly. One person writes, I wouldn't be surprised. Cindy and Randy have an open marriage, so I'm sure she knows. Well, despite whatever Cindy and Randy have going on, we already know from my past video that there's something up between George and Amal. They seemingly live separate lives.
George Clooney allegedly hadn't seen his wife Amal in 2 months prior to their most recent public appearance. This comes amid blind item allegations that George Clooney has had an on-again, off-again gay relationship with Harry Styles since 2020. Blind items also allege that Amal Clooney is not living with George, and she is also hooking up with someone else. Everything in this video is alleged, not confirmation of validity of allegations. This permanent A-list actor / sometimes director hadn't seen his wife in nearly 2 months before meeting up this week. And a blind item from back in May alleges that Amal Clooney is with someone else. The wife of this permanent A-list actor who sometimes directs is hooking up with a guy her own age. George Clooney is 64 and Amal is 47. And this next one suggests that they are not living together. The wife of this A-list actor / sometimes director lives overseas in a place that is paid for by a member of the royal family from a Middle Eastern country. This comment reads, the amount of vacation that Harry Styles has done with Cindy Crawford and her husband Randy and family after One Direction broke up was odd to me, but now it makes sense. Another person adds that at least they've got good taste in men. Another person writes that all the One Direction band members have been trafficked by and to celebrities and wealthy people ever since they were minors. Well, as I said just a second ago, George Clooney and Amal seem to live separate lives, and that's what this report says right here. This is from June 2025. This source says that they are both hardcore workaholics, so it's like they're in their own little bubble. They are in 2 different worlds 90% of the day. They're leading separate lives, so it doesn't even sound like they're hanging out with each other. Don't really sound like they're even in a relationship. They thought that their relationship would get better when George Clooney moved to New York to star on Broadway, because Amal is there in New York City, but that hasn't changed anything. They say that George has never done Broadway before, and he was thrilled about the opportunity, but between rehearsals and performances, it means he'll spend 6 months in New York City, and Amal is going to remain in France with their children. They're all settled in there, so they're not going to be around each other for most of this year or next.
George Clooney is showing his age at this point. You can tell around his neck. He's starting to get that little waddle. He's really starting to show his age at this point. I never realized that. I don't really pay attention that much, but now what was the last thing I saw him in? It was 6-7 years ago. But they could cover it, but you can really tell right there. He's showing his age.
The source says that past lengthy separations did not do their marriage much good, but George and Amal are trying to develop a strategy to cope with the long distance. Maybe George gets a little boyfriend on the side. We're getting all these divorce rumors nowadays between George and Amal, but what's interesting is I keep going back to 2020, but that same year we got a bunch of rumors the same time we heard about Harry Styles. This report claims that there was a rumor back in 2020 that the couple were separated and headed for a divorce, but nothing came of it. Back then, it seems like it was the same issues. She was traveling often back and forth for work, which became chaotic, and they didn't really spend time together, so they naturally fell out of love. But
what did she do? I thought he married a waitress. I thought this is the girl that he married, that she was a waitress. What does this girl do that she has business? These fruit flies, I swear to God. What did she do? Let me know in the comments. What does this girl do on the mall? I thought this is I heard the story he hooked up with this waitress. He married her because, she's common folk or something like that. And he liked that. Is this the same chick or not? Maybe not. I don't know. But all of a sudden she has all this business. What does she do? She an actress? I've never seen her before.
were they ever in love in the first place? I mean, I don't know. If George Clooney did allegedly have a relationship with like a 20-year-old Harry Styles, I don't know how an Amal would like that. I mean, she seems to be an educated woman, but she also seems to be a little bit controlling, and I can see that being a problem as well. I mean, they're both very strong personalities that probably clash pretty often.
So we've all heard of taking your shoes off in somebody else's house, but wait a second.
Clooney's?
Amal Clooney actually makes guests hand over their cell phones at her door. Amal Clooney, queen of privacy, now wants to host phone-free dinner parties. Yep, okay. and she's not asking. She literally collects everyone's phone in a basket as they enter her home. Because she is so famous and so private that if anyone wants to snap a pic of George or sneak a story during dessert, she's gonna block that. Because nothing says friendship like a forced digital detox. But here's the kicker. Are they even your friends if they don't stay when their phones are gone? Seriously, how important are you when no one else's communication even counts, even comes close to yours? You're basically signing a phone surrender before you even get that Merlot. I mean, I get it. Kids, privacy, yada yada. But also, strict much? Feels less safe space, more cult retreat. Either this is an awesome boundary set, an over-the-top diva move, or not your friend if your phones don't belong.
Even though George Clooney likes to say they've never argued before.
What did you guys think about that? If someone took your phones before you, as soon as you enter, they took your phone. How would you feel about that? That's an interesting one. Because I can see both sides. I can see why, she's married to a big name guy. You never know if someone has some bad intentions trying to get some tea and, stuff like that. I can see that. That aspect from her. And I could also see why it could be also very controlling too, just kind of like, alpha dog type of thing. I can see both sides, but I could see why it would be more like privacy. Because she is married to, because what does she do? Anyway, because it's George Clooney. So I can see why she wanted to take their phones, but yet you're talking to, it's not like you're, but yet again, it's not the press that she's inviting. She's inviting friends. So if they're supposed to be friends, they wouldn't do that. Like, expect them to be like throwing your gossip out there or throwing tea out there. So I can see that side of it too, actually.
I'm calling BS.
Amal and I are having a really great time in life. And Amal and I, I remember we were here with you once before, and remember we said we'd never had an argument. We still haven't.
You still haven't?
No.
I wouldn't believe shit in this interview with Gayle King, Oprah's lesbian lover. Like, we still haven't figured out how to, we're still trying to figure out how to fight. You're so full of shit, sir. You're so full of shit. That is such a PR kind of answer, Miss America answer. Oh, we're so perfect. Look at us. It should be just like us. You commoners. Like, that's what it gives me. And Gayle King. Kiss my ass, Gayle King.
We're trying to find something to fight about.
Now, enough about Amal Clooney. I do want to mention that Harry Styles has been open before about his sexuality. Now, he had to address accusations about queer baiting. That's what I remember about him. Essentially, he did not give us anything as far as how he identifies, but that he isn't going to feed into a narrative because he likes to keep his private life private, which he probably should if his private life is anything like what we've talked about in this video so far. I mean, at the end of the day, we've got Benson Boone wearing the same kind of outfit, so I think Harry kind of like helped him at the end of the day because like now Benson isn't getting these accusations that Harry was dealing with. Also, though, people, thought what they thought. But Harry did say he did not want to define his sexuality. He said it was outdated. It doesn't matter. It's not about having to label everything, not having to clarify what boxes you're checking, he said. He was in the film Don't Worry, Darling, where he does play an officer hiding his sexuality. That also fueled rumors. He's kind of playing a gay character. But he said, I think everyone...
There was a concert where he grabbed the bisexual flag and he waved that around. I did see that clip, that he grabbed the bisexual flag from one of the audience members and he flung that around on stage. I did see that clip going around on X.
Including myself, has your own journey with figuring out sexuality and getting more comfortable with it. It's not like this is a gay story about guys being gay. It's about love and about wasted time to me. Comment below if you guys did see that movie and if you like Harry's acting skills. I actually have not seen that film before, and I know I'm such a loser for it because everyone was speaking about it when it came out. But here's another clip of Harry just being Harry while on stage.
Isn't all of this tightly by music? I mean, we're all a little bit gay, aren't we? Do you know what I mean? We're all a little bit gay.
Honestly, I'm just glad that I'm not listening to Watermelon Sugar High all summer. Like, how many years ago was that when we just heard that non-stop Watermelon Sugar High, Watermelon Sugar High, Watermelon Sugar High. Singing voice. That was my Selena Gomez singing voice. When she like sings. No shade. I like it and still listen to it. But I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Thank you for tuning in and let me know what you want me to talk about next.
Now, like it says, this is all gossip and hearsay, blah, 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 blah. But to me, there's smoke, there's fire. There's also that thing. So, is there possibility? Sure. There's evidence of him hanging out with them. Now, there was not really any pictures of him and George that I saw that they showed, but there was pictures definitely of Cindy Crawford's husband, Randy. Quite a few of those photos. Apparently, they also took family vacations together with. That's strange because if I was a single man, it'd be kind of awkward for me to go with a couple on a vacation with the family because I'm sure they have kids. You feel like the third wheel. It makes no sense, unless it was like him and his girlfriend or whatever like that, and then he goes like a double date type of vacation. But still, the age gap, yes, I agree. That's kind of. They're not running the same circles. Why are they hanging out like that? Like, what kind of commonality would they have? They have such a big age group. He has different interests versus him because they're so, different ages have different interests, So that's interesting. You never know. You never know. But I do enjoy the gossip because it definitely. And let's go back to that one girl talking about she's so shocked about the George Clooney and Harry Styles thing, even though her title says Harry Styles / Obama 2.0. I'm curious about that story. Give me that story. And where's the context of that one? You got me interested in that one. Why did you title that for? Last time I heard, Obama was hooking up with Jennifer Aniston allegedly. Also heard Obama was gay and Michelle Obama is trans Big Mike, so smoke there's fire. Anyway, let me know in the comments what you thought about this little story. I like Sloan. I think he makes some great videos. He's articulate. Take care of yourself, take care of each other. Love, peace, and grease, and bye.